y'all. Rick's About the Morning Show. Hey, we just trying to not only keep you safe and healthy, but we always concerned about your finances as well, because a lot of businesses have closed down. And, there's a lot of information out there that can keep you, just kind of hold you over until all of this stuff is over with. I want y'all to give it up and show your love right now for Jini Thornton this morning.
Good morning, Rickey Smiley. Good morning, Rickey Smiley Show.
Hey, good morning. We are
Jini.
so happy to have you this morning. I know it's a lot of new developments out there because we hadn't had you on since last week. What's out there now?
Well, kind of the top things right now, Rickey, that folks are talking about, obviously, it's this whole thing of not being able to pay your bills, whether it's your mortgage or your car note or your student loans or credit cards. So a lot of people are trying to determine what's the difference between deferring their payments or forbearing their payments. So what that means is they both allow you to postpone your payments, but forbearance means interest is still adding up, and the deferment means it's not. So for most of us, we're going to get forbearances, but please call your creditors and let them know if you can't make any payments right now.
Also, Jini, for forbearance, if you get a forbearance versus a deferment, when it's time to start paying, a lot of companies, like my mortgage company in particular, they will give you 3 months to figure it out. But at the end of that 3 months, they want all their mortgage.
Right.
They're not tacking it on the back end like a deferment. So a deferment, they tack it on the back end. A forbearance, when you have to start paying back, you have to pay back everything.
And so you're going to need to find out. Each company is handling things differently because some are allowing you to tack it on the back end. Some companies are asking for the full amount after the forbearance period. So it is a case-by-case basis. But even the important thing is you don't get this automatically. You have to request this. So you're going to have to contact your creditors.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, hey, Jini, Special K.
Yeah.
Hey, so in regard to renters in particular, got a lot of people on Facebook asking about renters who are living in apartment complexes or renting from private landlords. What are their options in this situation?
Well, I was reading an article yesterday, a New York Times article that says they expect 40% of New York tenants not to pay their rent in April at all. 40%. So as a renter, a lot of cities and states are having a moratorium on evictions, meaning that you cannot get evicted right now. But the challenge is if you are the landlord. And I actually had a tenant who called me yesterday and said, I didn't get laid off, but my income actually has been cut in half. Can you reduce my rent? You're going to have to, again, have those conversations. And as the landlord, if you have a mortgage on your property, you as well are going to have to contact your lender and say, hey, I'm having some challenges. Can I defer or forbear my payments right now until things settle down some?
Right. Right.
Well, speaking of homes, when it comes to like refinancing, since interest rates have definitely dropped right now and you're trying to consider refinancing your home, how do you really go through that process? Because you have to get appraisers to come out, but since we're kind of stay at home, you can't really get an appraiser to come out to find out the value so that you could, get a good interest rate.
Right. Well, even what's really interesting right now is you think the banks are really, really overwhelmed. People are trying to refinance. People are calling to push back mortgage payments. So I suggest if you can qualify for a refinance, I would do it right now. But you're going to have to be patient because obviously depending upon where you live, those are not essential workers. So they may not even be able to come out. There may be a delay. And I haven't heard yet if some states or in some cities if appraisers have come up with a new way to deal with the situation right now. But please keep moving the ball forward because we're going to get back on track, and I don't want people to miss the opportunity of rates. They have never been this low ever.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is, it seems like didn't the federal government or some states are telling people to stop rent because people don't have it. How somebody going to pay what they don't have and the money that they have? They don't know if we're going to be in quarantine for the next 2 or 3 months. What are they supposed to do?
Right. And that's when, Ricky, that's when the federal government essentially said, if you live in federally subsidized housing, if you have a federally subsidized mortgage, what they said is you can't evict people right now. So essentially that's the same thing as saying you might not get paid right now. Because most cities, I think there are 34 states right now that has a moratorium on evictions right now because they know people can't pay.
Right. Oh,
but those are just for federal loans, right? So, like if you have federal student loans or if you have an FHA loan on your home, that doesn't mean or include people that have private loans.
Correct. So that means for those of us who have private loans, we are going to have to contact our lender, Eva, and work something out.
Gotcha.
Wow. But that doesn't change the fact if you have a city that says, just like I live in the city of Atlanta, our mayor said, hey, there will be no evictions right now, period. They're not going to happen. So that means the department that handles evictions, they're not putting people out right now because they know that they can't. So many people cannot pay.
Right. All right, wow. Jini Thornton, thank you so much for coming on, giving us that information. Let everybody know how you could be reached.
Please send me your financial questions to at Jini Thornton, JiniThornton. Y'all take care now.